So we're going to be preparing a ceramic restoration for luting, and what we're going to do is we're going to do what we would normally do for any adhesive procedure. We're going to condition, and we're going to prime, and then we're going to use an adhesive. So for ceramic, in order to condition it, we're going to use this material here, which is a 9.6% hydrofluoric acid. So this is going to be the material that we use initially to condition the intaglio, the fitting surface of the restoration. So we place this on, and this is a gel type, okay? Sometimes they're a bit more liquidy, and what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this surface area here is properly conditioned. So we can see this is covering that fitting surface of the veneer, and it's going to give us a much better surface in terms of the surface energy of the ceramic for the primer and the adhesive. Now there are different studies suggesting that etching the surface of the ceramic may or may not be necessary, and there are some suggestions of different concentrations and different lengths. I think generally we would go with an etching time of about a minute with this material, and once we've done that, then we can then rinse this off. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I just rinse off that, and I'm going to show you again now what we have. So we've got this restoration here. Just the last bit there, can't quite see. Okay. And what we're going to do is I'm going to show you now, as this dries, what the fitting surface looks like. So here it is. I'm just going to dry that off, and you'll see an etched pattern, not unlike etched enamel, appearing there. However, this is where we can mistake something that we've seen before for something else. That powder is actually not necessarily an etched pattern. That in fact is debris from the etched glassy matrix. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean that, and we're going to clean that off. And you can clean it off using a couple of different materials. One way to use it would be to use alcohol and put it into an ultrasonic bath, and in an alcohol beaker, and the ultrasonic pulses will clean that using the alcohol, and it'll then remove that debris, leaving a much better surface. It's reckoned that if you leave that debris on, it does actually interfere with the bond strength, which we can achieve, and so we do want to clean it. But a much more simple way is to use your normal orthophosphoric acid, which is normally used for etching tooth, and you scrub that on like that, and then we're going to rinse this off. So we'll rinse this. Good. And what we'll now see as we dry this is not quite that same not the same look at all. Okay, what we're going to start seeing with this is more of a matte finish. You can see now the type of surface that we like when we have a nice etched ceramic. So you can see that there. And we don't have that chalky whiteness. What we have is we have a matte, a dull matte finish, quite different from the glazed surface on this side, but also quite different from what we had for our initial etch. So this is now a surface of ceramic which is very high surface energy. And the reason why that's important is that we want to try to ensure that the next thing we put on, which is our primer, is going to properly coat and infiltrate that surface. And we're trying to facilitate an adhesive system here, which will allow us to bond a resin to the ceramic. And so we're going to use a silane primer, which is this glistening material here. And when you watch me touch this, you'll see it just soaks over that. You can see it creeping over the surface, and without me even doing anything more, okay? We can see it again, you know, as you touch it up there, it just creeps into that. So in fact, you know, that's just absolutely taking that silane coupling agent right into it, like that. And so now what we want to do is we want to really strictly, we'd want to protect that from light. But we're just going to dry some of that off, and we'll be left with a very slightly kind of shiny surface. But we don't want excess on it, so just a light and thin on it, and that is now ready to go. And the way we would lute that would be to use a light, in this case, a light cure resin material. And so to kind of have that ready to go, we would apply that, you know, in small amounts, some sort of light curing resin material like this, and we'd apply it. We know that the fit is good, and so we're happy with that. We've checked the shade and all of that, so we're going to put that in place, and this now is ready to go, and we pop that into a light box. So we have it here and inside there, and that's now ready to go. We'll just turn our attention to the tooth, and we'll do the same, conditioning the tooth, priming the tooth, adhesive on the tooth, and away we go.